Welcome back to a nice and relaxing fall day here at A Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
Please and thank you.
Yes.
And we are excited to have her back. She was our second or third guest on the pod, I think. Miss Gwen. Hi, Miss Gwen.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Hope everyone's doing good.
We are. It has been 2.5 years, if you can believe it.
No, I can't. Wow.
We took a year off. Like, we kind of stopped for a year because of my hips. But then we got back into it. And we're actually doing really good. I'll show you the numbers after. But, like, last month was our best month ever. We had, like, 410 downloads.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So we were really happy. And we were going to try go straight from season 4 to season 5. And I was going to try and get us on, do a video format. And then just save the audio for, like, the normal stuff. Or for our normal podcast. But I don't think it's going to work out for a little bit longer. I got to buy more expensive equipment, and it's like I need a space to do it in because, whenever for our listening audience, like we always do this in like my kitchen area, and so like I have to bring in all the microphones and the computer and a recorder, and when you start adding in the cameras, it's like I also have to have these bright lights right in your face, and it's like I have to take it all down, and so it'll be a few more months until just my son and his girlfriend move out before. I told them when they move out, I'm taking over that room, and
you can't move back in.
You can't move back in.
There you go. That's
Last
a great
chance.
place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to, we actually have earned money on the podcast.
Wow, congratulations.
3 whole pennies.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's better
Got
than
your 3 cents worth.
There you go. We haven't gone to, they won't send us anything until we get $50. But I was like, hey, whatever. We earned some money.
Yeah.
Hey,
there you
so,
go.
Miss Gwen, what are we drinking today?
We are drinking homemade strawberry daiquiris, and they are delicious.
You did a good job.
Yeah, they turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
They're really
I
good.
like them a lot.
Yeah, I know, Gwen, is it because you had your gallbladder out, right? Is that, am I right?
No. I have 3 ulcers in my stomach, and then I have a ulcer that's turned into Barrett's disease on my esophagus.
Jesus, woman.
So yeah, it's stress.
Poor thing.
Stress does harmful bad things to your body.
But you have such angelic children. Why are you stressed out?
Oh my God, seriously.
And our viewer, our listeners, this is Jason's little brother's mom, and he tells stories about the little brothers all the time. So y'all know that is a lie.
That's right. Yeah. They're angels, I promise.
That's right.
Yeah, they're the angels that fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great kids, but like any children,
And when you're a single,
and then twins with a single mother without backup.
oh yeah.
and one with a pretty good disability on him that makes parenting very difficult.
Well, I had him tested for ADHD when he was 5, I think. And, the first thing that the counselor came out and said, good news is he's a genius. He measures high on the
IQ scale.
And she said the bad news is he is probably the furthest, highest on the chart for ADHD that she's seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
He was always, I knew, I was so happy when he graduated high school because I knew he was going to struggle. But the fact that he was always, not always willing to, but it seemed like he was always somewhat willing to take his medication.
yes.
And it helped. And,
Yes.
Jennifer's fighting that a little bit right now because we keep finding like hidden pills where we give Wesley his medication and then like 3 days later, I'm like, why is there a pill out in the backyard? And
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of had that fight for
ever.
When we went on our cruise, my mom had him,
Yeah.
and she I think maybe she like forgot to give him the morning pills or something happened, and she was like, he is a different person
Yes.
when he's not on his medication.
Yeah.
Like they had to go to Walmart for something, and she ended up bringing her belt with her to Walmart because she was like, I was about to whoop that child because he was just
Out of control.
so different.
Yeah.
And if you're so different, like it's a completely different person, and you can go to school and you're not taking your pills. So I actually, a few weeks ago, we had an appointment with his psychiatrist, and I'm like, look, apparently he's not because I thought he was doing good with taking them for Jason and Zane. I thought it was just me because he takes out everything on me, because I was finding his pills whenever, like on weekends, or like I find them in the car, I'd find them in his book bag, like just like deteriorating and, you know, things like that. And I was like, you know, look, they're finding him in the yard, and I'm really scared because they have a 2 and a 4-year-old that come over. They have a brand new grandson. If he's crawling and there's a pill, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, we've kind of gone back and forth, because the last time we saw her, he was saying that, you know, he didn't feel right on the pills, so she lowered the dosage, and he promised her that he would take his pills, and then we found them. So she's like, look, he broke his promise to me. He still didn't take them when we did it, so we're going to go up again. We're going to add some more stuff to it, and then what we had is the nurse is now giving him morning and afternoon pills.
And are the pills doing a better job now, or?
Well, it's still kind of early. We're on Vyvanse in the morning, and then now I want to say it's called Strattera.
Yeah.
Like, we added a little bit of that because in our adoption support group, they were talking about a new medicine that's just been out for like a year. That has worked wonders with some of the kids there. Okay. And I had asked her about that. And she's like, well, we'll probably have to try this one first because it's an older medication, and Medicaid probably won't pay for this newer one until we, you know, exhaust all options. So we'll see, you know, once it starts getting in his system and, you know, that sort of thing. But she was like, you have to give it to him on the weekends because we want to keep it going, keep it in his system. Right. I was like, I'll try. You know, I can't make no promises because, you know, you find pills everywhere. Because I make him put them in his mouth, show them to me that he didn't palm them. Then swallow, and then, you know, I'm all up in his mouth, tongue up, tongue down. I'm looking everywhere. Right. But I don't know if he regurgitates them or what he does to not take them for the.
He just doesn't like taking them.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, even now, Matthew is 19. In fact, they both turn 20 at the end of this month.
Wow.
And since Matthew started working, he sees his disability now. He says, Mom, I really need the ADHD medicine. So we went back and got him back on it, and
that's awesome. I'm very proud of him.
Well, you know, he took it. He says, but I just cannot. I can't do it. He said, I'm not myself. I don't like being on them. So I have the bottle of pills by my bedside table. Mm-hmm. A week later, all the pills are gone. Okay. John.
Oh. Did he sell them?
No, he took them.
All at once?
All at once?
Well, no.
Oh.
So it must have been more than a week in between, but it felt like I looked down a week later and they're gone. But it must have been more. But he takes them just to give him energy. And
like kids would buy Adderall.
Right.
To do.
Snort.
Right,
yeah, whatever they were doing with it.
I'm like, what in the heck?
Because John never really needed them because he always had the good focus. Mean as shit, but he was always pretty focused.
Yeah.
Well, can Matthew not like just talk to the doctor and just be like, hey, I didn't like the way these made me feel. Let's try something else, because that's kind of what I did.
Yeah. He can, and I've left it up to him.
Oh, okay.
He'll be 20. He can call the doctor.
That's true. That's right.
Mommy's not running his life anymore.
Yeah. When talking about mommy not running his life anymore, I remember when they turned, it was like 18 or 19, and we aged out of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. It was like, all right, boys, it's been 12 years. It was like, I have been dedicated and consistent about showing up and scheduling things. I'm like, I still want to be in your life. I love you guys, but I'm going to put it on you. If you want to hang out, you got to call me. And I haven't heard from those fuckers in a year.
Yeah.
They will text me every now and then. And I suspect, and I will ask them out sometimes too. Jennifer's trying to ask me a question.
Has it been a year?
It's been close to a year.
Yeah.
I'll message them sometime on TikTok. If I see something funny, I'll message Matt. John, I never see because he's like stuck in his room. But I I will make you this bet right now. On
I
their
don't take
birthday,
bets.
they're gonna show up. I'm like, I've missed you, Jason.
Oh, on their birthday?
On their birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably little shits.
Because so I guess it's been that long when one of them came and
was
hung
their
out with
birthday.
us on.
That was their birthday.
That was their
okay.
birthday?
Yeah, they came over and I was playing. I always give them like $200 for their birthday, and they just showed up like, we just wait to hang out. I was like, I don't have cash to give you. I was like, well, that's okay. And I was like, Jennifer luckily had like $100 on her, so I was like, can I borrow $100 just to get rid of them because I know what they were up to.
No, I tell you what, this year, so, it's been a challenge. It may be with you too, Jennifer, to get them to brush their teeth.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't even try anymore. I told the dentist, I was like, look.
But let me tell you what's going to happen. So, one of them had a toothache, and I took them to the dentist. They did x-rays. 6 root canals, 8 cavities, teeth pulled, and crowns. To the tune of about, we're not done yet, so it's going to probably end up being $8,000 for each kid. It's the same thing for each one of them.
Oh my God.
Wesley went to the dentist a month ago, and apparently his wisdom teeth are trying to come in because he was complaining of his
early.
mouth hurting.
Mm-hmm, that is
and
early.
then the back, like something with the back tooth was
Bothering him?
I don't remember what it was. They gave me a number to call another dentist, and she was like, he keeps talking about whitening, and I was like, don't ever do that because he doesn't brush his teeth. She's like, yeah, tell him, all this plaque on his teeth, because he had his cleaning a few months before that, and they're like, he's gonna be sore because that was nasty.
Yeah.
You could tell he's not brushing his teeth. And she's like, he needs braces, right? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for someone who doesn't brush their teeth. Because they showed him a picture of someone who had braces that didn't brush their teeth, and they had that permanent little square on their teeth because it was the only part that was,
Clean.
I guess,
Now.
clean. And I was like, that would be what his mouth would look like.
And he would like never wear his retainer too, and they go fucked
and he
up.
never not eat what he was supposed to eat, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just not mature enough.
Yeah.
I was like, you're gonna be those 20, 30, 40-year-olds with braces because that might be the time that you would be mature enough to actually take care of your mouth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you pay for it because I'm not gonna do it.
Just
I've told them both, their birthdays again are at the end of this month. I've told them both, you're both getting all that work on your teeth done for your birthday. So I'm not getting you anything.
Does your insurance not? They're 20.
No, they're
26.
on my insurance.
Oh, okay.
Till
Oh,
26.
But my horrible insurance only pays like 60% of root canals, 60% of, and there's only so many that they'll pay for.
Gotcha.
Have you heard about like I've seen it on TikTok, like I've dropped TikTok, but they were talking about like all the bad things about root canals now. Like they're starting to not recommend them because they just like after a while, like the infection really never goes away, and so it eats away at the bone deeper in.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
that happened to me. I don't know. But we do not have good teeth in my family.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Did they go to the dentist regularly?
when
did they
when
kinda
they
stop?
were before they could drive and I took them, yes, they did. But afterward, like I made an appointment for them when they were 16, 17, made them get up and go. Like 20 minutes later, I get a call from the dentist office. Hey, are John and Matthew coming in to get their teeth cleaned? I said, yeah, they should have been there by now. Well, they're not here. I said, just cancel it. So they get home and I say, oh, have the dentist go. I said, oh, it went great. No cavities? Nope, no cavities. I said, really? Because they just called me.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
I said, I am not making another dentist appointment for you. You're responsible for when you're 14, you're emancipated from me being the health guide,
you can make your own medical
making
decisions.
I said, so you want to make your health decisions? You call the doctor. You go to the eye doctor. I'm out of it all. So that's what's happened. So now Matthew came to me yesterday and said, Mom, I really need glasses. I said, I've told you that for 8 years now. Because he's got a stigmatism. He's almost blind in one eye. He really can't see, and he's having trouble at work because of it.
I remember when we first started Big Brothers Big Sisters, he was really insecure because you would always make him with a patch because he had a lazy eye, I think, and you were trying to strengthen up one of them.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I remember you fought a lot about that too.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. So finally, I gave up, and now his eye is he's almost blind. And the only surgery you can have is cosmetic, is what they call it. But it's to disconnect the tendon that holds your eye. Mm-hmm. And so it'll just look straight. I said, I'm not doing that.
Well, you can't because insurance won't pay for nothing if it's cosmetic. That's why braces are so freaking expensive.
Right. That's why I said I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, didn't he have his own insurance?
No, he could, but it would take up most of his check. Really? So he can stay on mine until he's 26. I don't really want that, but he's not in a position financially. Yeah. So, I mean.
I'm just thinking if if they're not going to their appointments.
I don't make them.
Well, I mean, because you pay so much extra for insurance being a family. Like,
that's good.
Because you pay so much more when you have to add.
I have no idea. Well, yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's
well, she doesn't because she's has Medicaid.
Well, with Wesley, he's on Medicaid, so I don't have to put him on my insurance. But I see because we just did our insurance.
Yeah. And
I was looking at the price difference between me and then just another person, a dependent. I'm like, damn. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't want
I pay $1,000 a month with them on my insurance. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, so now
14. You just should have stopped that shit.
I was gonna say you might actually because they're you might be able to get them a cheaper version on Obamacare. Because I was able to get Justin, especially Matthew, because if he is not earning a lot, I was able to get Justin free health insurance through Medicaid or through Blue Cross Blue Shield, Obamacare.
Okay.
So you might check that out if they want it. Idea.
Well, I mean, if it's my insurance is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then John, if he's, not having all the health issues like Matthew does.
Well, he doesn't have any disabilities.
So.
But, he doesn't.
But you might get to bring home some more money.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to check into that. That's a good point.
See, aren't you glad you came today?
Exactly.
We're gonna get you some extra money.
Right. Yeah.
All the drugs.
Drugs?
Well, we're sharing drug ideas and anyway.
Yeah. That sounded bad though.
Yeah, whatever. So in the 2.5 years since you were on last, let's see, the boys were, I guess, would have been 18 at the time, or almost 17 ish. What's been going on the last 2 years?
Well, focused on relationships, and Matthew had been dating a girl and he broke up with her because of some reason. Well, I probably shouldn't say this because he might listen to it, so never mind.
Well, you don't have to name names.
Well, I mean,
you can be vague.
You can say what you just said. They broke up. I mean, that's fine. If you want to leave it at that, unless there's more.
Yeah, no.
Now, was this the girl that he was dating when I ran into them at Costco that one time? And he brought her over to prom? Is that the one he broke up with?
Was that Ella?
I don't know her name.
Him and Ella were together for a while, and then they broke up for a while, and then they got back together, and I guess Matthew acted like an adult, and they've been together ever since.
Okay. Okay, then that's probably the one I saw, because he brought, I think, that girl over to prom, and then they broke up for a while.
Yes, it was prom, yeah.
Did he bring her over here to take pictures? Or to
that was
show
prom.
You?
That was prom.
But I'm just saying, that was really sweet that he brought.
Yeah,
it was because he sure didn't bring her to my house. Excuse me, I have some of those pictures?
Yeah, they're on my phone.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to bring anything in them.
But I did run into them at Costco I think last year or sometime. They were just walking around together. Is she in some sort of nursing program or?
She's a vet tech.
Vet tech. Okay, yeah, she was walking around in scrubs. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
She is so sweet.
That's good that he grew up.
Yeah, and she's keeping him in check, too.
And especially because Matthew's the one with the ADHD, right? Yeah. So that is, especially for him to grow up.
Yes.
Because I've heard a lot with like the ADHD, you don't mature nearly
he has
mentally wise.
Over this past year, and I credit, honestly, well, him, of course, because he's got to want to change, but Ella. She's got ADHD as well, but she puts up with nothing.
Well, good for her.
Well,
I mean, she loves him very deeply, but you know, she has boundaries and sticks to them, and
that's good.
And him working, I think it's opened his eyes to
life.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And
I will say I was very proud that they both graduated. John, I was not really worried about. Matt, I was a little bit worried, but he, like, the last year of high school, he really turned it, or last 2 years, he really turned it around.
He did.
And they both graduated.
Yep.
I never thought Matt was going to go to college. I thought John was going to go.
He wants to go, but mommy has told him I'm not paying for it.
I remember when this started conversation, he was so, like, Matt can be violent. John can be vicious with his
John
words.
is nasty, vicious.
And he
You
would
mean like word vicious?
Oh yeah, like cruel.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he would come to me. He's like, I can't believe my mom is such a useless woman. She can't pay for my, just saying the meanest shit because mom's not gonna pay for college. And I'm like, you are a capable young man. You can write some scholarships. You can join the military. You've got a lot of options. And
and you've been a dick to her all her life. So what part of that?
Yeah.
Dickness.
Right.
I was like,
I don't know if that's a word, but
you had pretty good grades in college. Go to fucking community college for a little while.
Right.
Not that hard.
He decided not too long ago, or maybe 6 months ago, he wanted to go to Calhoun. I said, good, why don't you do some research? And I told him that because I wanted to see his interest level.
Yeah.
And he did nothing, so I'm not going to worry about it.
I mean, that's at that age, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Right. So if it is not okay for him to do what he's doing now.
So right now, Matt and John both live with you, right?
No. Well, so Matthew is really 90% of the time over at his
Ella's?
girlfriend's house at Ella's.
Okay.
So it does make for a calm house, but I sure do miss him. But no, John. So part of John's issue is Matthew bought a BMW 93 BMW
Piece of shit
drift car that broke down all the time. And when I went to buy a new car for myself, I gave them my 2011 RX 350, and it was in good shape when I gave it to them.
Why?
That was a mistake. Because I cannot take them everywhere.
Yeah.
They needed transportation.
But
and
you
I was
could have
getting
sold
tired.
it and then got like another junk.
Well.
I know.
for
Well,
them.
if I had you to talk to, that's probably what I had
I
done,
mean,
but
you
I
always
didn't.
have me to talk to. Just
Oh well.
Well, I know.
life.
So-
But
We'll just
anyway.
say
So
life
did you
again.
did you actually sign the title over them, or do you have it?
No, I have the title.
Oh, that's good. at
I
least.
don't know why it's not worth much anymore. But anyway, so
You gave him the car.
I gave him the car. Matthew's car was running. Something happened. It's not running. It's been sitting in the driveway over a year. So now Matthew's driving John's car because Matthew has a job. He's got to be there at 6:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So John says, well, I don't have a car to get a job. So that's all John's excuse.
Well, you can get your ass up, drive your brother to work,
That's what
go
I told
find
him.
a job.
Well,
That's what I told him.
y'all also live really close to like the center of Huntsville,
Right.
and your sister used to walk her happy ass down to
Right.
her job all the time.
Right.
And I remember years ago when they were bitching about cars, I'm like, why don't you just buy an electric bicycle? They're not that expensive. And,
Right.
But
Well, so Matthew and Ella are planning on moving out, and I said, you can't take the car. I said, I'm
good.
sorry, but you can't. So Matthew knows that, and I think right now they're planning on moving out in January. But Matthew said he's going to either walk to work or get an electric bike. So I said, good.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can he bike to work, or is she close enough?
There's some apartments out there by, what's that fishing place?
Fishing?
Big sports store.
Cabela's.
Cabela's.
Oh, okay.
Apartments close to Cabela's that they're looking at.
Okay.
So.
About to say the ones from, across the street from my old neighborhood. I'm not going to name them, but on Old Madison Pike.
Yeah.
Those are pretty not cheap, but they're like some of the cheaper ones in town.
Yeah.
So,
well, Matthew went and did a tour of the ones that they want, and
okay.
I think a 2-bedroom is $1,300, and I said, if you can make that payment, I guess he would have to make that payment in 2 paychecks because he gets paid weekly.
Okay.
I said, but really, your rent shouldn't be more than a quarter of your salary.
Yeah. Justin learned that one the hard way because him and his girlfriend had a 2-bedroom. It was $1,400, and they could afford it barely with the two of them working. But as soon as she lost her job because of the pregnancy, it's like, well, they had to move back in because they just couldn't afford it.
Yeah. So I told him when he moves out, he's off my phone plan, that he's responsible for his own phone, and he's got no problem with it. He expects it. He said, I'm an adult mom, I can do that.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Matthew. I'm very proud of him.
He has also learned how to grill steaks, and it's his favorite thing in the world. Until my older sister, Jill, gave him a smoker. So then he started smoking steaks, but then he still wanted the crust from grilling. So he brings them inside and smokes up the whole house with, browning it. But he loves it, and everybody loves his steaks, and they are fantastic. So.
Yeah, he's been doing that ever since he was like a teenager.
Yeah, he loves...
I remember you used to get so mad because he would like open up steaks that you had bought and he didn't tell you.
Oh, yeah. Open up steaks that I bought, and he would cook them all. And I'm like, where's my steak?
In my belly, Mom.
Yeah. Him and John would eat it. So, I mean, I don't, John is easy to cook for most of the time. He'll eat most anything that I cook, but Matthew won't, and I don't worry about it anymore. Yeah. If I cook and he's there, he can eat or not eat. I mean, he's an adult. He can decide.
He can make his own or go buy something.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how Matt's doing. What about Mr. John? So last time you were here, he was kind of going through it a bit, going through some sort of depression. Last I've heard, is it still going on?
He seems better now. I think he is depressed about transportation and not having a job. Mm-hmm. But I can't do that for him.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of backed off. I'm watching him, but I'm not a mama bear,
Yeah, you got to let him.
I got to let him learn his own lessons.
Well, they're about to be 20.
Yeah.
Most parents try to kick their kids out at 18. So.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I know. So
he's very lucky he gets 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Gwen and I have been talking about, because like she'll call and we'll bitch about the boys or kids, and I was like, Gwen, go get a job in Germany and get the fuckers out.
But they would want to go with me.
I'm like, fuck that.
Okay, get a job, buy your plane ticket. I'll see you there. Because you know that would never happen. So.
No. Yeah.
Speaking of buying plane tickets I can't afford, did we ever tell you about my awful idea about my brother when my mom dies?
No. What?
Your awful idea.
No, this is mine. It's completely my idea, but my aunts love it. We had, because my brother is kind of a useless sack of shit, and I know he's not listening to this. And Mom, if you hear this, I apologize. I know it hurts your feelings, but he's 50 years old and still living off your money.
It's time.
But I always had a joke with my aunts, my mom's sisters, and my dad's sisters. I'm like, when Mom and Dad die, if he's still alive, we're going to take a celebratory or a let's go spread Mom and Dad's ashes in Hawaii, and I'm just going to leave him there. Because he can't afford to fly back. He'll never be able to afford that ticket on his own. No. It's not a state. It's a U.S. state, so they can't deport him.
Right.
And he won't ever freeze to death.
That's right.
If he gets hungry, he can go get a coconut.
Yeah. Hey. I love it. Yeah.
Hey, hungry, just get a coconut. You're thirsty, go get a coconut.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Grow up quick, then, won't he?
Well, that's why there's a huge
there's a big homeless population
in Hawaii.
Mm.
And I think people have done that. So I don't know the relatives or not, but I was like, damn it. So, but
that's funny.
So what about John?
It's not going to happen.
No, it's
just
happen.
Funny.
It's nice to talk about it.
It's a dream.
But our relationship, mine and John's relationship, is a lot better. We communicate well now. Civilly, yeah. So I'm trying to teach him, how to cook and participate in the whole cooking thing, and I cook, he cleans, and that happens sometimes.
How's his room?
He's doing a better job with his room.
Because if you thought Wesley's room was disgusting.
But John doesn't have any disabilities, does he?
He does not. But his room, like he would have several half-eaten meals under his bed.
It got so bad he had food moss under his bed. We had to exterminate his room.
Food
and then
moss? What the fuck
Moth.
is that?
Moth.
Oh,
Moth.
Yeah, there's moths that are particularly attracted to food, and that's what he had. And then they got in I have 2 pantries. They got in both of those. So that was it.
I've never heard of a food moth.
Yeah, his room was like when he stayed here with us that week.
Oh, it was that. That's the one that stayed. See, I get them confused not just because they're twins, but just because you
don't see
I
them
didn't
very often.
see them that often. But yeah. So,
when he stayed with us, I was like, we were cleaning out that room. I was like, God damn, John, you were here a week
and destroyed it like that.
Yeah, and Zane was like, he will never stay with us again. I'm like, I can trust me.
Nope, not happening.
Didn't he leave chocolate? No, that was Wesley. Or
did he leave chocolate on the bed too? He ate something. And the crumbs or whatever got onto the sheets. I think it was chocolate, and he also ate like Takis or something. Slept on them and kind of ground it into the sheets.
I've never seen this moth before.
He changes his sheets often, but he also doesn't wash his sheets, and I don't. So I'm like,
well,
I mean, it's clean because he changes them. But now he's at a point he doesn't have any new sheets, so he's got to wash them.
Well, I mean, I guess that's one. Well, Wesley was going into my closet. I have like only one closet in my house, like
laundry closet,
where any kind of thing can be put into it, right? And that's where I had kept all my sheets. So Wesley, at one point recently, was like just going and getting new sheets and just so I took them all out and I gave him 2 sets.
Yeah,
I was like, that's it. You go through them and you don't wash them. Well, he sleeps on his bed a lot without anything.
Pisses it.
And I'm sure he does. And I was going to say I was going to burn it, but that would probably be bad for the environment. But that, as soon as he's out, that's out. Well, I don't even want to touch it. Like, I don't even want to go in his room.
No.
I remember many a mattress that Matthew ruined.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because I remember coming over and I was like, "There's another goddamn mattress on the the curb."
Did Matthew? Matthew's the one with the disability. Did he have bedwetting problems?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how long was it until like it stopped?
About 11 or 12.
Oh, I thought it was later. I thought it was almost 13, 14.
Oh, it was about 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It could have been 13, but I don't remember that.
Because I remember the one where he pissed your bed. Because they both like to go sleep with you sometimes when they were younger.
He stopped sleeping with me when he was about 11. Right at 11.
I just remember one time that you were pissed off because he had pissed your bed and you had to throw it out.
Yep.
It was a queen or a king or something. Like, oh, God.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Recently, Wesley had a bad dream and knocked on my door at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, "Can I sleep with you?" I was like, "You ain't sleeping in my bed."
Nope.
So he has a beanbag that my mom, I think it was my mom, got him for Christmas or birthday or something like that. So he put the beanbag in the floor and he, stretched out and sleep in the beanbag. And it's not like I'm trying to be mean, but the last time I let him like just lay in my bed with me, he was petting the dogs and like moving, and I've slept by myself for so long.
Yeah.
Or just, with my animals, but I didn't have enough room. I couldn't spread out like I wanted to, and him moving would move my bed, and it would. Yeah. I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
I can't be in that bed with me.
Yeah.
I remember when we first got Cleo, she tried to, she was scared and she tried to climb in bed with us. And I'm a hot person, but I cannot be touched.
Sexy and hot.
Thank you. But she likes to cuddle at night.
Yeah.
And you cannot touch me.
Yeah.
Because I would just start sweating and I will not sleep. And she just wanted to cuddle all night. I was like, stop touching me.
Yeah. That's how Matthew was. And John and Matthew fought for the middle position so they could be next to me. And Matthew would put his arms around me and his knee on my stomach. I couldn't stand it.
Oh. Zane and I will cuddle for like maybe 5-10 seconds and be like, "Hey, I love you. I'm going to sleep. Don't touch me." But yeah, I remember when we would travel sometimes back to Texas to go visit my family. We would get a hotel room, and I would let her sleep with me. I was like, "Stay on that side of the bed. Don't touch me."
Yes.
It was like, "I will get you a nightlight, but you do not touch me."
Yeah.
Then she would snuggle close. Get away from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, back to John. How's he been? I know he's. You said he's. Do you think he's still struggling with the depression? I know y'all's relationship
slightly, but honestly, I think he's a happier person. He just knows he needs to get a job, and I don't see him doing a lot about it. And then the car thing, the freedom thing, But he's still dating Camille. They've been together 4 years, I think, and they're still doing good. And he cleans the house, and I pay him, of course, and he takes care of the yard, and I pay him, of course. But that's okay. If it wasn't him, I'd have to pay somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, because wasn't John the violent one?
That was Matt.
Matthew was violent.
John is the talker.
The mean
one.
the talker.
The mean talker, okay.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, he cleaning the house, after everything that they've done to your house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so up in their area where their bedrooms are, there's no doors on any bedroom or bathroom. They're all gone. And I told them, I replaced them twice. I said, that's it. You'll never have a door as long as you live in this house.
Because they destroy them. They
Well,
kick
I
them
mean,
in. Yeah.
Wesley's destroyed, so on a door in my house, there's like a little, it would be like a window. Like a little area that's kind of...
A panel. It's a panel door, isn't it?
Panel door, yeah.
Panel?
I mean, it's not like up and down paneling. Is that
No, it's like a little window.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called paneling.
He broke that out. And so there's a big hole right there. I mean, it's a pretty big area, too, what he broke out. So he puts a blanket or towel to try to cover it. And he's like, Mom, I need a new door. I was like, well, you shouldn't have broke that one.
Nope.
I'm not replacing anything in my house until you're gone.
That's exactly right.
There's nothing new unless I want
mean,
it.
the only thing that you could do about the door, and I wish I would have done it, is get masonite doors. They'll break their fist if they hit them.
Oh,
but I mean, even if they broke, the frames would shatter because they've broken the fuck out of those things.
Oh yeah, the frames are all gone.
He's broken frames too, so I'm not worried about it. He done it.
Yeah.
I'm glad he puts the blanket up because it keeps the smell in his room.
Yeah.
But it still...
It's disgusting.
Yeah. But, I mean... And he's like, I want a new door. Well, I want a door that didn't get broke. We're both not going to get what we want. So...
Right.
Tough shit,
Oh, well.
So that was, I guess, when I just stopped. I don't know if it was you, Jason, or somebody told me, Gwen, you got to stop. You cannot keep reacting the way you're reacting to everything. And so I just stopped. And they say, Mom, I remember when you were, reacted to everything and we pushed all your buttons. He said, and then you just stopped. Because I was overreacting and didn't know how to handle the situation with them. It was just me. There's no backup. It was tough. It was really tough. I know you can identify.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Yeah. And it's hard to break out of that cycle. And there's many, many reasons why you can't completely back off, especially at his age.
Right.
So I totally understand, but your health is more important.
Well, yeah, I know. And I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, okay.
True to
that explains
the definition of
My
a Taurus.
sister's a Taurus,
the
too.
bullheaded stubbornness. I am that. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to try not to be that. And what I tell him is so I have to wake him up. I can't go anywhere if he doesn't get up. Right? He yells at me.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Bounces up and down on the bed. So he's up when he bounces up and down on the bed. But I just need a couple more minutes. I've been screaming at you for 15 minutes to get up. No, it's time because we have to be, because I can't make me late for work because that is what keeps roof over your head. Right? And he'll just, and I just put my ears in. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to jam out to my music.
Yep.
But you need to get the fuck out of that bed.
Yeah. Well, it was so bad at my house one time. I had to call the sheriff.
You had to what?
Call the sheriff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I mean, the probation officer, if he put his hands on me, destruction of my property now, which he hasn't destroyed anything. So,
yeah.
But if he does that, she's called the cops right there, right then.
Yep.
He threatened me. If he threatens you, call the cops. Because of him being on probation.
Yeah.
That is like...
Has he been through that sheriff's...
They don't
have that no more?
They don't have it anymore?
They don't have a Scared Straight program.
Yeah.
That stinks.
I asked them when he ran away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember having to tell... I remember you were like losing your shit, Gwen, and I was like, just call the fucking cops on him. Yeah. I was like, you are killing yourself.
Yeah.
Just call the cops. I was like, it's gotten to the point now they're not going to listen to you, so just get some outside help.
Yeah, so I did.
Well, I mean, I'm not...
He hasn't gotten that point with you yet.
No. Again,
yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
his is more very, very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Very immature, like I said, like he does temper tantrums, throws himself on the ground, and I'm like, whatever. Just jumping up and down.
Yeah.
And like I said, he like throws stuff and puts, slams stuff on the ground, but he's not actually destroying anything when he does that. So I'm like, whatever, pick it back up. And luckily my mom and my pops live 10 minutes away with traffic. So nice. Luckily I have a little bit of backup in a way with that.
Yeah, definitely.
But right now I'm just taking, so when I have to be around him, I just take it minute by minute.
Yeah.
And we don't really.
I will say you have gotten a lot better about we will just put the earbuds on and walk off.
Yeah,
I'm really trying. Good. It's really fucking hard because with earbuds you can still fucking hear like when it goes to another song or you hear all the shit he's talking to you about, telling you to shut up and all the things I would never ever say to him,
no.
like and I was telling him the other day, I was like, the things you say to me, I wouldn't even think to my mom because my mom would know I thought it. And that would break my heart that my mama knew I thought it.
Yeah. Lord, you should have heard some of the shit that...
Oh, yeah.
I will say...
I'm a mama's girl, so...
This is kind of mean on my half, but like it's a good thing Wesley's kind of on the lower IQ scale because John is so fucking smart and so is Matt, and it's like their meanness is like they know how to hit.
They know how to hit. Yeah. They haven't been like that for a while now.
Yeah.
But it just crushed me, some of the things that they say.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so that's when my psychologist said, you just got to take yourself away because that's what they're doing. They want you. And they want your attention no matter if it's good or bad. Yeah. So you have to remove yourself and stop. Just stop.
Did you ever have to go on Xanax with them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm on Xanax now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything for me.
It doesn't?
I take 2 full pills a day. Twice.
And I've been like super stressed out the last few weeks because I've just had so much going on.
And you had some left over.
Yeah, and I was like, can I borrow one? And I've been splitting them up, and I was like, oh, it's not that it helped, but I wasn't sure if sometimes if I just like kind of breathe and walk, it'll help. I took a full one last night, and I was so loopy.
And you take 2 of those? Mm-hmm. Are you exercising?
No. She just has a German liver.
Huh? When do I have time to exercise?
Well, I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, she's always been super non-reactive to drugs.
It takes a lot.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I'm usually a cap off of, like I've capped off of I want to say 4 or 5 different ADHD medicines just because it doesn't get
I was going to say, do you have ADHD?
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Well, I got diagnosed 2 years ago?
Yeah, about.
Ish. With ADHD. And then, of course, anxiety, depression,
yes,
thingy, whatever, all that.
Yeah.
I wasn't diagnosed with depression. I was the anxiety. But now, last time I talked to my doctor, I was like, yeah, there's depression now. Yeah. Not suicidal thoughts or anything like that.
But
you know,
of course you're depressed. I mean.
Yeah. So she was like, okay, well, let's get you off of, I think I was on Ativan. And then now I'm on Xanax.
Okay.
But I'm also on gabapentin.
Gabapentin? Why are you taking gabapentin?
For my foot. And then also for my headaches, the nerve pain.
Ooh, gabapentin is bad stuff.
Like bad for you?
Oh, yeah. It causes a lot of damage.
To
what?
To your central nervous system.
Because she's had long-term COVID headaches ever since she's had COVID.
That's right.
And
it helps with that?
It's the only thing that touches it. And she's done like 15 different treatments.
Okay, well,
she's done Botox.
No, I want 45 different treatments.
Don't be on it for the rest of your life.
Well, I take a lot.
A lot of gabapentin?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I take it 3 times a day, and it's a lot of milligrams.
Are you taking greens or any kind of healthy stuff?
Greens.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay. But yeah, so I got that, and then to sleep, I take Tizidine. I take a lot of different pills now.
Yeah. Well, I take stuff for sleep too.
Man, I've gone to bed, woke up, and I still had my fucking ear pod in my right ear. So many fucking times. Fucking love it.
Wow.
Shit knocks my ass out. Tizidine?
Trazodone.
No.
Different.
Yeah, it's
I guess I need to get something different.
But what was hilarious is that because of how my body reacts to medication, I explained the Tizidine, whatever it's called. How many milligrams I was taking, and she was like, "Wait, did you say you were taking 3.5 of this?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you sure that's what you're taking? Just making sure that you're not getting the dosage wrong." And I'm like, "No, ma'am, I'm looking at my bottle right now." Oh, I have to talk to the neurologist. The neurologist about that. And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "That's a lot." And I was like, "Well, he's the one that told me to take them." Like, you know.
Have you ever had that test done where you can tell what medicine you'll react to and what medicine?
Oh, the gene thing?
Yeah.
No, because it's wicked expensive.
Has Wesley ever had it done?
Wesley had it done pretty much right when I got him a psychiatrist and got him diagnosed with ADHD. So when I got him, he didn't have ADHD or ODD or any kind of diagnosis.
Yeah, that's what DHR said anyway.
Yeah. So for 8 years, that poor baby didn't have no diagnoses, I'm sure. So then when I got him diagnosed, I had to drive we had a 2-hour drive somewhere. It was only
Decatur?
No, it was somewhere 2 hours. So Decatur's only 30-ish.
Probably near Birmingham, wasn't it?
No, it was a weird place I'd never heard of before. But it was a faith-based. So is it a psychologist that diagnoses you?
Psychiatrist, probably.
Either way.
No, it was a psychologist diagnosed him.
Oh, okay.
And then we found him a psychiatrist at UAB. And then when we got to her, I love her. She's awesome. She was like, "Okay, well, you know, I got the information from the psychologist, and we can treat the ADHD. Unfortunately, there's no medicine for ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder."
Yeah.
And she was like, "But first, before we get him on medicines, what we really like to do is do this, and Cade will pay for it, or Care, or whatever. Cade will pay for it." And I was like, "Okay." So they did that, and he was pretty even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Matthew had been taking Adderall for a long time and kept having incidents at school, bad incidents. So finally I had that test done, and they said, "Well, the reason he's having these incidents is Adderall stays in his system about an hour. That's it." So, yeah, he he metabolizes.
Was that at ASFL?
Yeah.
I remember many a time going to pick them up, and the teacher would come and was like, "Would you please tell Mom they had an incident at school?" I'm like, "I'll tell her. I don't know what she's supposed to do about it, but I'll let her know."
Adderall, Wesley didn't do good on. Was it Adderall that he didn't do?
I don't remember.
I want to say he took Adderall, and he was
violent. Yeah, one of them.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, he was violent, I think, on Adderall. So when my psychiatrist put me on Adderall, I was like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on that. My son was violent, and I was like, well, we're not related by blood, so I'll try it, whatever. But I felt nothing. There was no, I didn't like it. Like, it didn't do anything. The one I'm on now,
don't ask
Concerta.
Oh yeah. Is it good?
I'm on the top. It is the best one. Like I don't fidget as much. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't move as much as I used to.
Yeah, because your arms would be up in the air everywhere.
And my knee would shake all the time. Yep. So I still move, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. Oh, so the only thing is I'm at my top. So knowing my body, I'll be like back to it and then having to try something else. But it is what it is.
At least you're aware of it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's half of it.
Right. Because I've never had a problem focusing. But I've also been told ADHD in girls and boys are way different. Mm-hmm. My ADHD, and I don't know if all girls are like this, so I'm not trying to generalize, but my ADHD is in my brain. Mm-hmm. It nonstop.
Yeah, can't turn your
brain off. And you can't turn your brain. When you can't turn your brain off, that's why I was like, I don't sleep well. Yep. Because then I'm thinking of stupid fucking shit, waking up at 2:00 in the morning and thinking of, oh, what was that movie that person was, just nothing important. And why the fuck am I up thinking about this kind of thing? Yeah. And so I was like, so I went and got tested and everything seems to help. And
well, good.
Yeah.
What are you on? Are you on ADD medication too?
Not anymore. I mean, I tried taking Vyvanse and I tried the 20 milligram, did nothing. Then I went up to 40, and that was about right. Mm-hmm. But it gives me a really bad headache, so I don't take it.
I took ADD medication in grad school for a little while, but I didn't like the come down. It was really focused.
Adderall's got bad.
Yes, but the last hour, I was just like
crashing,
hyper, but feeling weird, and I didn't like it. So I was just like, I guess I probably didn't need it. I just took it.
No, I mean that's Matthew took the Adderall, he would crash on it.
Yeah,
an hour after he took it at school.
Right.
So, my brother needed ADD medication, but at the time, he's 50, so all they have is Ritalin. And then I think eventually got Adderall, but he hated it so much. So
he didn't take it anything.
No, I'm talking about brushing teeth. He's missing a good chunk of his teeth, and he won't. Mom's even said, if you will make an appointment and go to the dentist school, they will get you a discount on dentures, but he won't do it. So,
sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, it sure does. Mm-hmm. But at least Matthew and John, I think, will get there eventually. I will say Matt and John both have the same. They have it to a probably worse degree than I do. Is a self-assuredness that it really is not warranted. I was like, I am right and you are wrong, and you're stupid, and then I'm like, oh, I guess they're not actually stupid. But mine was tempered at least with I could see smart enough to be able to figure out. I was like, okay, I got to play this system to get what I want.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, especially when I was younger, I was real bad. Like, what the fuck? Y'all don't know what you're talking about. And
yeah.
They have it in spades.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
So, still one about to launch finally at 20, which is actually not bad for nowadays, especially with prices and jobs away.
His disabilities and everything. Yeah. I mean, really.
He's doing really good. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, definitely. I'm proud of him. I know I've only met him a handful of times, but
he was always the one I was a little scared for, just because he had such so violent and would have such bad outbursts.
I tell you what changed my mind about all that is when Big Brothers Big Sisters asked him to do a speech. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He did incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very impressive.
That's when I got that award. Yeah. Like, we're just there.
We were surprised by that.
Oh,
right?
yeah, because I was like, what the hell are y'all doing here? And they're like, oh, did you not know? And I'm like, oh. And then they realized, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Because I just, I don't know what I thought I was there for, but yeah. So, I love it.
I mean, Matthew was, of course, Jason's in tears, but Matthew was up there, I don't know how long, couple of minutes. But
yeah. No, he did a very good speech.
He was amazing. I mean, he used vocabulary that I've never heard him use. So I thought, oh, thank God he has been listening all these years.
He paid attention.
Yeah, but I was very, very proud of him and you know, sticking it out.
I'm not much like, I really don't feel like I did. I know the effect was great and I'm so glad I did it. I never thought what I did was like super impressive or like not that the effect wasn't like amazing. I know it did a lot of good.
So I'll tell you.
Well, let me finish my thought real quick. I'm just amazed though, like, because all I did was I made sure I was there every week. It's not that hard. I didn't think it was anything I did was that difficult. But having had Khalil with 3 big sisters, Wesley having a big brother that has dropped out of his life, and the countless, I'm just like, it is not this fucking hard, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed at how many bigs fall through. I'm just like, it's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's intense. And I told them, because they were like, oh, do you want to take on a little on? I was like, I don't think I want another little. If I could do something like a little less intense, because it's a commitment.
Yeah.
But it's not hard. It's not like physically or
for you.
But yeah,
but you're gifted. I mean, you are. You truly are. Mm-hmm. But me and the boys talk about a lot of stuff now, and one of the things is, you know, you had some very influential people in your life. It's not like you didn't. Sure, was your father did not participate? No, he didn't. But look, you had Jaju and Jason, and they both say that you were a godsend. Truly. And he was. I mean, to me, too.
Right. Well, you had a break from, one kid at least at a time.
Yeah. And sometimes, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would take them both.
Yep.
But it was not only that. It was your loving, caring wife. You're going to make me cry.
Aww.
And you're very loving and very caring.
I will say on that thought, it amazes me how different I am with them and Wesley. Because I saw some, I didn't see, I got a lot of secondhand stuff from you about how shitty they were being. And I would try to be like, guys, we gotta be nicer to mom. And I, trying to help you. I was like, okay, let's, I was trying to be there for everybody. But with Wesley, when he will do it in my face to his mom, like he'll be fine with us. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she shows up, the asshole cranks up to an 11.
It's because he does it for her.
And I have gotten violent with him. And I never was that way with John and Matt. And I was just like, where the fuck is this coming from? Because I was always so calm with them.
Yeah, you were. Well, maybe it was your commitment. Maybe it's because you knew that, you were the major influence in their life. And you were. Yeah. The major male influence. And how often you tutored them. And they finally told me one time, well, Jason would really write our papers for us.
I would not.
Well, obviously you helped them more than
I would type. Like they would tell me what to type, but they type so fucking slow. I was just like, just tell me what to write, and I will type it for you.
Yeah.
Because I got so sick of because they don't know how to type like we do. Yeah, and they hunt and peck, and I was like, I'm going to murder you. Just tell me what you want. I will write it.
But you help them learn to think through things.
Yeah.
I mean, you did.
Yeah. No,
did you ever see them interact with their mother in the way that Wesley interacts with me?
I don't think. Not because no, and partly is because I got them at 8, and so it was always me separate from mom.
Right.
And so I got a lot of secondhand reports of it, and I knew about it, but it was never. And I also think Jennifer and I were friends, well before she got Wesley. So I think if Gwen and I had been friends, had been like really good friends, and they had done that, and I had been witness to it, I probably would have blown a gasket too.
Yeah.
That and you're with Wesley a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that I think. You see it firsthand.
Yeah.
And you have him a lot. So he also has his little attitude with you.
So part of John and Matthew's attitude was, I know when they were a little bit older, was anger about their father. And it's warranted.
Yeah. Well,
but
I had a question about that. Not question, but their dad really wasn't in the picture till they were 14.
Yeah.
And so it was always just like this image in their mind.
Yes. And I totally agree. And that's what John has this image of me, of what a mother should be. And a lot of times I didn't meet that image because it's unrealistic.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember when he was going through soccer, he would get something. He's like, "You didn't make me go to soccer." I'm like, "You were a 16-year-old kid who didn't want to go to soccer anymore. What is your mother supposed to do about it?"
All right.
I was like, "No, yeah." He has a lovely habit of blaming other people for his own foibles.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. But he also still doesn't help himself. But you're exactly right. I mean, it's because you're around Wesley so much, it's familiar now.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're a family, and we go on family vacations. And,
so he's like,
so
a father figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that probably is it. Because I think if I saw Matt and John doing that to your face, I would have probably...
You would have done something.
I would have...
But you were always their
escape.
Safe place.
Yeah. And I think for a while I was that with Wesley too, because I would, like, if it was just us, if it was me and him, or me and him, Kalia, he was always better behaved than he was anytime Mom's around.
Yeah.
But, oh, God bless.
Yeah.
Those boys.
Yeah. I'm just glad they're doing better.
Yeah.
I mean,
too.
to
It's
hear that
after
some of the stories I've heard, and I know those are just some, like for your day to day, 2 of them at the same time, I just cannot imagine. Because if I had 2 Wesleys, I would probably be in the little white room with my little straitjacket and just chilling.
It was. I mean, I did. I probably did have a breakdown more than a couple of times.
There was a couple of times I was thinking you were going to have to hospitalize yourself from like because like I was amazed you held it together. I mean, you blew your gasket, but I am thoroughly impressed with both of y'all for all the faults you feel like you have and the mistakes you feel you've made. The fact that you're able to hold it together and not seriously kill them. And I don't mean that,
No, yeah, but I get it.
Yeah. So.
I mean, John and Matthew and Wesley will be the same way. I mean, they tell me thank you for putting up with all their stuff now.
Well, so my sons didn't place very high on the IQ scale.
But
he might have.
So my feeling is that because he acts like he's 3 when he has those temper tantrums, that he probably won't be like 30, 40 years old, and finally it'll kick in at that point. Not 20 years old. That's how I feel.
Well, I will say, admittedly, I got him at 17. I enjoyed Justin a whole lot more as a 20-year-old than I did as a teenager. And I think if you can survive his teenage years and without permanently harming him, it'll probably get better.
It will get better.
I hope. That's my hope.
We'll see.
So what's on the next? So you said John is maybe thinking of going to community college?
He wants to, but
he hasn't shown.
He hasn't shown me
much effort. Yeah.
He hasn't made any effort, and he still thinks. I think he still thinks it's my job, and I said no. My parents didn't pay for my college. I worked full time, went to school at night, and then I got a full time job, and they paid for my college, and I got a bachelor's degree in 1 year. So, yeah, I went to school full time and worked full time, and it's very, very difficult. But if I can do it, you can do it.
Doesn't it usually take multiple years to get a bachelor's degree?
I had an associate's from Calhoun, and I found out that Faulkner offers a bachelor's in 1 year, so you just double up. I mean, it's very difficult.
Wow.
And
I just
we
knew
had
it
to
took
go down.
a while to get one, I thought, anyways.
Yeah. We had to go down to Montgomery, I think was their main campus, like once a month and take tests and, do that.
Okay.
So
I'm proud of you for that,
It was tough. I'm glad I did it.
Did you have the boys when that happened?
No, thank goodness.
Okay. I was about to say, I can't imagine doing that with twins.
Yeah. No, so.
Yeah, I mean, after you were telling me this, I'm going to text John and was like, if you need help putting together applications, and because there's, especially since he's 20 now, or he's about to be 20, I think they will actually start considering his finances alone and not yours. So he might be able, he should be qualifying for more, and
maybe he'll do that with you.
Yeah, I'll text him after the podcast and say, hey, want help?
I just got my associates in May.
Congratulations.
Took me like 6 years. Took 2 years off, but one class pretty much at a time.
Faulkner and get your bachelor's.
No, I'm never going back to school. Fuck that. I've been working at my job for 18 years.
Wow.
I'm not going to get paid even with an associate's or a bachelor's what I get paid now.
Oh, okay.
And I get really good health benefits when I retire.
And she'll get a pension.
And a pension.
Wow, good for you. Don't leave. Is that Huntsville City?
We're not going to mention names.
We'll talk about it later. But technically, because I'm 18 years in, I could retire when I'm 55. Because I'd have 30 years in at that time. So I did. So my brother, I was 18 when my baby brother was born.
Oh, wow.
So instead of going to college, I took 2 years and helped raise him because I heard horror stories about daycares, and so Sissy was scared.
Yeah.
And so I worked at night, my mom worked in the morning, and we just watched him for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, what the fuck? Why ain't your daddy doing this? So then I kind of left and just was like, you need to step the fuck up in a way. Never saying any of these words to my mom or my pops,
not,
but I know my mom and my pops ain't listening to this. So I kind of not talked to my pop for a minute, I guess to kind of prove a point. And I got a full-time job, and then, got roommates, and then had my, young adult life. And then my brother was 18. He just graduated, and he was like, hey, Sissy, will you take me to Calhoun? And I was like, yeah, baby, let's go. And he was like, I'm going to apply. And I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. See if I can learn some shit. And then so I applied when he applied.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
So, yeah, of course he got his associates a lot quicker than me. But I paid everything out of pocket.
Yeah.
So I owed shit when I graduated.
Wow, good for you.
Well, I got my diploma in the mail. And then I got 2 extra certificates. I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They said that I had good grades. So
well, congratulations.
So I was very proud of myself for that.
You should be.
And I don't have any student loan.
Yep.
So my mama didn't pay for shit either.
Yeah.
So you can tell that to the boys too. Not
There are options.
There are.
And you don't have to go to 4-year school. No. Go learn a fucking trade.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say, our friend of ours, he did a ultrasound tech or something like that, and he earns enough by himself to buy a house in this economy. So
well, yeah. So maybe they'll listen to you, but
I'll text him. We'll see.
And I think they're old enough to make their own decisions.
Yeah, no, I think this is an important part in their life that they have to.
Yeah.
It helps them to feel confident in their decisions, and
they can't blame you. You made me go to college, and all that bullshit.
So
because I can see that happening.
Oh, yeah.
I am so proud of, it's patronizing to say, but I'm proud of you for being able to hang on and make it through, because it was a rough few years.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have done it without all the support I had from you and my family, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Really for me.
Definitely takes a village.
I think that's the biggest thing we've learned from this podcast. It's the support systems and the network you have, the family you build. This is really how you raise a kid, because it's damn hard these days to raise a kid.
Yeah, it is.
And it's different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure every generation has its own thing. And then all the electronics and the tablets and the access, that's what we're going through now. And I'm sure the next generation will have something else that is different than what we are going through.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a trying time, but I'm glad you're kind of seeing the
light at the end.
Yes, definitely. And then you can focus on you.
I mean, Matthew's room is still a mess. The garage is still disgusting. And now under the house is disgusting because when he cleans the garage, he just shoves everything under the house.
Sounds like Wesley.
Yeah. So.
I hope he's not shoving shit underneath the house. God, I have never. Oh.
Well, her house, she has almost a basement.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's like a walk-in crawl space.
Oh, God.
But I will say, you are probably close to being an empty nester. How does that feel?
Heaven!
So, on the nights that Matthew's, like I said, not there most of the time anyway. Mm-hmm. But when John goes out, I enjoy it, the freedom. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be permanently like this. And I don't know if I like the hubbub, of stuff going on in the house. I'll think I'll enjoy it, but I still want them to come over for dinner or whatever, during the week. Or
do you think you'll downsize?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah, because you have a big house.
Yes, it's too big.
It's very big. And it's like, I would imagine maintaining it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, nope.
You still think
it's a nice house.
Yeah.
I don't really like your backyard. It's weird.
It's just rocks and trees.
Yeah,
but it was like perfect for them.
It's weird.
And the way I am, when they learn to walk, I just put them over the wall. Dad said, don't do that. I'm like, well, I've got to, because this is their backyard. This is where they're going to play.
Right.
Their muscles need to learn to navigate the rocks. And
you got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And they're still alive, so.
Yeah, Matthew got stitches in his...
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
who hasn't gotten stitches?
Yeah.
I was going to say...
John's never had stitches.
Really?
Yeah. Matthew's had like 10 stitches.
That's not true. John had stitches from his surgery.
Oh, this is true. On his knee.
And you'll have a whole bunch of stitches probably from root canal. I don't know if they really put
stitches in,
but all that shit is, that's it right there.
Lord.
So if you learn anything from this podcast, brush your fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Jesus.
Force them to brush their teeth.
I will say, I just took Clea to her dentist appointment yesterday, or Thursday, earlier this week. And the dentist was like, she's like, I'm going to have cavities. I'm going to drill my teeth. And I was like, girl, chill out. It was like, just make sure you're brushing in the mornings, because we always get her to brush at night. But mornings is sometimes iffy still, because if I don't remember, then she's not going to do it. But didn't have any teeth, no cavities. So
wow.
I was very happy about that.
Yep.
Have you, now I've not teased you, but I've suggested this many times. Are you still thinking about possibly going back to Germany and working?
I would love to go overseas and work. I haven't really done anything about it.
Yeah.
But I'm still open to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's cross our fingers.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is probably a good transition spot. So, let me get my
snack time. It was.
Hold on. Yes, snack.
Don't hold on to me,
girl. No, we have to do the outro.
It says guest interview, snack time, then story time.
God damn it! I apologize. So, what are we having for our snack time, Miss Jennifer? Or do you want me to introduce it?
Well, I mean, I'll do it. Yelling at me, motherfucker, when I ain't got it right. You was wrong.
That was wrong.
That goes back to earlier, just because I had to do it. So I chose, because they left it up to me. You got an Aldi in Aldi's cheesecake sampler, and I love Aldi's.
And Zane is going to the refrigerator now to go get some.
I got the strawberry and the New York style, and it was scrumdiddlyumptious. You had the turtle.
I had the turtle. It was okay. It was a little gritty? But it was good. It was, but like there was a little grit to it.
I got you. And you got a turtle and the strawberry.
Which I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, so. But did you like the turtle? Did you find it gritty or?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, that's good. But yeah, any cheesecake sampler, I always go for the strawberry because that's one of my favorites when it comes to cheesecakes anyways, or just the plain New York one.
Yeah, just before Gwen came over, I was like, let me go to Aldi, see if I can find any snacks. And they had some, the big soft pretzels. But then I was walking through, I was like, oh, they have pretzel bites with like a dip. And then as I was walking around, I saw the cheesecake. I'm like, ooh, I get salt or savory and sweet. So I got it. And then Gwen said she didn't care. So I was like, Jennifer, you got a preference? And so that's what we got.
We got cheesecake because we had just had lunch. So I wanted something sweet. But yeah, I love Aldi's. I grew up with Aldi's because it's German, and so
that's where I learned about it from when I lived in Germany.
Yeah, so like when it came to the States, I'm like, oh my god,
I was excited too.
Yeah. All right, so it is our story time now.
Okay.
And remember, I told you in the beginning, you had to come. You had to, if you could think of a good story. We talked a lot, so were you able to think about a good one about you, your sisters, the kids?
If you don't have one on the top of your tongue, I've got one you could tell, if you're willing to talk about it.
I don't have one at the top of my tongue.
Do you want to talk about the time Matthew injured his hand?
Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
I don't know. That was an interesting...
it's a very good story.
Oh?
How old was he?
He was a young teenager. He was probably like 14. I think it was either end of middle school or early high school.
Yeah. So, I had guns in my house. They were locked in a safe. I felt sure that it was not penetrable.
And these you inherited from your father when he passed away.
Yes, here got these from my father when he passed away.
Was it like a coded safe? Like you had to put the numbers in?
I had a code and a key.
Oh, okay.
So, So I guess they would come home from school, and I would still. This is when I went into work.
Yeah, before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID. So I had gone into work, and at work, I get a phone call from Matthew, and he's crying and crying. And I said, "What's wrong? I don't want to tell you." I said, "Oh, come on, you got to tell me. I shot myself." I slammed down that phone and flew home. No evidence of any shooting anywhere. Cops weren't called. Nothing's going on. But I do notice Matthew's got his hand wrapped up. It's not bloody or anything. Well, so he confessed of what he did. He broke into the safe and got the gun. And at that time, I guess they were playing GTA. Mm-hmm. So he was being a thug, sitting on the couch with his knees wide open and his gun, hanging between his legs, and had his other hand down there and shot himself right in between his index finger and thumb.
And that webbing?
Yeah. Oh. Well, thank goodness, yes. Well, actually, no, it was like right here.
Oh,
yeah. And
okay.
it went through the back, or entered the back, and then went through the front.
Right. So I'm freaking out. I, throw him in the car. And I do notice when I go in there, there's no blood. I didn't have time to worry about that then.
Right.
Took him down there. And, of course, the police had to come. I called my older sister, Jill. She came down there.
Didn't DHR have to come too?
I think DHR came down there. Their father came down there. I don't know how he knew about it, but it was a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Police had to go search the house for gun casings and holes in the wall. They found nothing. Nothing.
So where did it go?
We were just talking about that the other day.
Okay.
Me and John and Matthew. And I said, so when I got home, there was no blood. They had already wiped up the blood, searched for the gun bullet casing, got those. John had wrapped Matthew up in gauze and stuff, so he wasn't bleeding out or anything. And it was 2 hours before they called me.
Oh, shit.
Because
Was he just
they were-
hurting that bad? And he decided...
No, it was hurting, but they were too scared. They were scared of what I was going to do.
Christ.
Yeah. So that's him trying to be a cool GTA guy. And after that, I got a better safe.
But how did they get it open if they had to have a number and a key?
I don't remember. I don't
okay.
remember how he did it.
And where was the bullet? Is it still lodged like in the floor or
No,
something?
they picked it up. I guess.
I think it was a 22, and it probably didn't...
So it wasn't like a bigger
No.
caliber that
I
would
think it
go
probably
through
just, like-
and just like bounced or something instead
Yeah.
of went through some. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like it went through his hand and into the wall or the floor or whatever,
No, so of course, at the hospital, when the police are there in DHR, there's how you behave there. At home, it was a whole nother story.
Well, hell yeah.
So he figured out the reason to be afraid of me, and he got his ass beat for that.
I mean,
I remember when I came to pick him up, and his hand was... I'm like, what happened to your hand? He's like, oh, I shot myself. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, now he's embarrassed about the story. I said, good, you should be.
I'm going to tell it to everybody I
Oh,
know.
my God.
Uh-huh.
There was even a news article about it, if I remember correctly. Like, I think he printed out something, like, it
Yes.
showed up on, like, one of the local news stations.
Yeah.
Local kid shoots himself in the
Yeah.
hand
Oh,
with
yeah,
his
I
mom's
was
22.
so embarrassed. And of course, I had to tell everyone he broke into my safe. And then I look like, the dummy for not having a more secure safe. Well,
Well, you didn't think that they'd be able to break in when you had to have a key and a combination.
Right, exactly.
Matthew is too smart for his own good
Yeah.
sometimes.
Luckily,
Oh,
my
yeah.
son's not that smart.
When
so
he
I'm
was
good.
3, he would go around the house and take off all the plate coverings to the electrical
Outlets.
He'd take apart coolers. Of course, he never put anything back together. But
So he's
yeah.
not an engineer at
Yeah,
heart.
I mean, I drew the limit when I saw him taking out hinges from doors. But that's just because he wanted something to work on,
Yeah.
to work with his hands.
That's funny.
Yeah. He's always been a mess, but oh man, I remember that story. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. So, glad I could recall that one for you.
She's not because she's embarrassed by it.
It was like 6 years ago. It was
Yeah.
We're good.
All right. Well, thanks for all our listeners for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting. If you have any funny stories about your kids,
Or if you need some bad parenting advice or have any ideas for topics,
please email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com.
please do. And if you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcasts, just like when our kids ask why we won't buy them stuff on Xbox Live, even though they've already stolen our credit cards and bought over $300 worth of shit.
Tough shit.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Gwen.
Gwen. Bye, guys.